Hello and welcome to the Warhammer Meta Chasers. This is your weekly live tournament rundown show covering the biggest and best events happening all around the world. My name is Paul, your host. I'm joined by Adam Camilleri
G'day, everybody.
and Dustin Henshaw.
I'm trying to unblur myself.
Aren't we all? Isn't that just like commentary right now?
It's just life.
It's just life. That's what the problem with Bigfoot is. He's just an out of focus animal running around the wilderness, and we can't do anything about it. It's very frustrating.
We have some amazing events to talk about this week. I want to say welcome and hey everybody in the chat, and also warms my heart when we get to talk about events suggested by the patrons on our Patreon and everything else. So, cannot wait to talk about it. We have a wonderful event sponsor shout out here, the Wooden Spoon Collectors. Patrons who have sponsored this episode. Thanks to Adam for helping them out with their team coaching. You can actually talk about that if you'd like. Give some time to that.
Yeah, sure. So these lovely gentlemen, you can tell by the name that it's quite stated how they came into the team's environment, believing how they were going to perform. But they had some aspirations to do a little bit better. And one of them PM'd me and asked if I'd be down to help them a little bit with some pointers on how to get the most out of their team's experience. And yeah, we did a couple of 1 hour sessions and, chit-chatting about what this list does, what that list does, how to, formulate your plan of attack in the pairings process. And yeah, they went to the previous large team event in the UK and had their best results as of yet. So definitely not I'm not going to say it's because of me. They went there and they played and they did really well. But it was a very rewarding experience for me, and hopefully it was for them as well. So shout out to those boys. We have the names of the gentlemen here as well. So that is shout outs to Arthur, Dom, Henrik, Mick, and Robbie. Good luck to you all. If you do badly, it's not my fault. If you do really well, it absolutely is.
Congratulations on that finish, higher than it was before. That's all you can ask for. And it is about putting one foot in front of the other. Information like this show helps, and also getting information from folks who have done it before. Like everyone on this panel is like team veterans. Is one of the it's an incredible fun way to play, and we're going to be showcasing a lot of team events in this particular broadcast.
Indeed, we have 4 of them. Dustin playing in one of them.
Oh yeah,
this weekend playing in the Canammer team tournaments. We also have the international team tournament over in the UK, and it just always surprises me that nobody took that name before they did.
You got to think, is that already somebody already get that? Somebody like, oh, let's check. Oh, there's no website. Maybe there is.
Yeah. I guess that's mine. To me, I love it so much, and it's a fantastic event, a huge team event, always held in the UK, sometimes twice a year. But to me, I always have a little joke that it's the World Series of baseball equivalent. They do get some international representation, so this is tongue in cheek, and I do love everything that Zach and his team does. But yeah, definitely has World Series vibes.
Look, I think there's a team in Canada for the World Series.
Is there?
Is there?
Yeah, Toronto Blue Jays, right?
Well, I mean, not for a while, but yeah.
Oh, sorry, was it?
For a while.
Anyway, I'm just going to stick to Warhammer for the rest
to
of the
be
show.
fair, we did do it back to back. Like Toronto did actually win World Series back to back. This was the 1990s.
Will just stick to Warhammer. But at least for 80% of the show, I'll tell you that. Chat, welcome in. Nurgle Mac, great to see you. Dorian KR, hope you are doing all right. Let us know if you are going to any of these events in the chat. If you feel like calling your shot. As you mentioned, first event we're going to be talking about is the Sprint ITT. Then we're going to talk about the Canhammer Team Tournament, the Grand Tournament in Merusa, and the Battle for Salvation Teams. I believe that's up in New York. So let's jump into the first one here. The Spring ITT from Birmingham, England. 370 players and 75 teams of 5 competing over 6 rounds. We've talked about this before. A 5-player tournament is way different than an 8-player tournament in teams. Is that going to play out in what we see in the faction standings here? Dustin, what are we going to see there?
For this one, we're going to be seeing the Imperial Super Faction. There are 1 Imperial Agent, 6 Sisters of Battle, 33 Custodes, 12 Admech, 22 Astra Militarum, 8 Grey Knights, and 12 Imperial Knights. Space Marines are 16 Adeptus Astartes, 9 Dark Angels, 2 Space Wolves, 15 Blood Angels, 2 Black Templars, and 3 Death Watch. Chaos are 17 Chaos Space Marines, 2 T-Suns, 8 Death Guard, 13 World Leaders, 13 Emperor's Children, 22 Demons, and 21 Chaos Knights.
Wow.
That's
a high demon number.
That's a high demon
number. I feel like that's a high demon number.
That is a very high demon number. Xenos, there's 29 Necrons, 21 Orcs, 12 Tau, and 14 Votan. Hive Mind, there's 18 Tyranids. I like that. And 9 Genes to their call. Wow. Eldari, there's 6 Drukhari and 27 Eldari, meaning the faction podium is technically the total of starters at 49. But with pure factions, we're looking at Custodes topping off with 33, Necrons 29, Eldari 27, then Astra Militarum and Demons at 22, and Orcs behind them at 21.
It's a beautiful thing. And as we've seen recently with the beautiful internal balance of our 40k meta, it's very, very rare we see a faction get over the halfway point now. It used to be that we in metas gone by, we would see at times 80% of, teams, 90% of teams taking a certain faction. In 5-player teams, especially, as the teams get smaller, you see more, so you see less distribution, you see more, kind of zoning in, narrowing.
It seems like it's those singles event list that have some DNA carry forward into the 5-player team events.
Yeah, 100%.
Absolutely. Especially in 5-player teams, it's a perfectly serviceable idea to take 5 good, solid, well-rounded singles lists. A lot of the time, if I was going to a 5-player team, I'd want like 2 to 3 of whatever the best faction is in the game on their best list, and then I'd want 1 or 2 skewed like either shields or things that like a Plague Legion or an Awakened Dynasty that just can't really be bullied, and just block up their best stuff and then straight shoot your guys through the heart. In single Imperial Agent, whoever you are, you're a Chad, just straight up. Well done. But Adeptus Custodes having the most representation here by a little bit, by 4 over the Necrons, and then 2 from Necrons down to Eldari, and then 5, a little bit of a cliff there from Eldari down to Astra Militarum and Demons. And it's actually interesting to see the Astra Militarum numbers be actually a little bit light for the UK at the moment. I just of the belief that UK TC boards are extremely good for Astra Militarum in all their shapes and forms. So I'm always a little bit surprised when I don't see Astra Militarum, kind of topping the numbers.
Maybe that's just all the players that play Astra Militarum going to this are playing it, because there's only 22 of them in the area.
Exactly.
In the entire world, this is international, right? So
this is what knowing your meta is kind of about, is that in an event like this, that people are be gearing up for those things they expect to see, and you might zig and everyone else zag. Maybe we got some of that effect as well. Imperial Agents, played against a list recently that had 50 Deathwatch Marines in it, and it was brutal. And if you're not expecting it, it's going to put up 20s.
Absolutely. And they can really surprise and impress. And in teams events, if you want, you can just play Imperial Agents as your pseudo second Marine army. In fact, if you really wanted to, you could take Grey Knights, Astartes, and Imperial Agents and have 3 kind of pseudo, all working off the same thing, same metrics.
What's y'all's take on the demons here? There's this very high demon number. The reason I mentioned that is because we know there's a list out there that uses both Chaos-based Marines and demons. So you can't duplicate factions throughout the members of the team. So, what is so compelling, do y'all think, about the full demons list?
So there is options within demons to, of course, you're alluding to Shadow Legion, of course. There are options inside demons to dodge that. Very good in teams. Plague Legion is very good in teams. Remember that I talked about the Awakened Dynasty, those kind of defender stopper lists. That is one. Absolutely. You could play that instead of trying to take your Shadow Legion. I've actually done a Demons Detachment breakdown for one of the following events when Demons placed a little bit higher on the podium. And I was surprised to see how many Shadow Legions there were there. So in my heart, I'm like, cool, if you have a Chaos Space Marine player, you can play Plague Legion, or you can play Demonic Incursion, which is still totally serviceable, especially with some of the better data sheets you have available to you now, which have been revamped recently. But Shadow Legion is just a house. It's just so very good in teams. Really, really strong. Well, I do want to mention and give a shout out to Orcs, having 21 and making our top 5 podium here, because after the DACA changes came through, I would not have been surprised if there was a lull in the Orc numbers for some time, as in people went back to the drawing board, took a month off Orcs as their main, as they tried to reevaluate where they're at, with DACA being reduced in efficacy, whether they went back to tactical, Warhorde, anything in the middle. I was really excited to see, but I'm also just really happy to see them in strong numbers right here.
Orcs are still orcs. If you have a fully painted orc army, you're going to want to use it.
Exactly right. All right.
But we're going to talk about a team, right? We got the Wooden Spoon Collectors to talk about.
Indeed. So one of the perks, of course, of being a patron and of sponsoring the show is we are going to be doing their team breakdown for this beautiful ITT. Starting off from the top, we have Custodes, Lions of the Emperor, one of the 33 in attendance, 2 Blade Champs, 2 Alaris Shield Captains, of course, with the good enhancements, and 1 Dawn Eagle Shield Captain, also with the good enhancements, because their enhancements are busted. Single unit of 4 Custody Guard, 2 Alaris, 2x5 Wardens, 4 Prosecutors, 2x3 Venatari, and Karia Draxus to go with the Custody Guard. I like this package. I think this is a decent little list, especially having the double rapid ingress option with the Venatari, like you rapid ingress your Alaris and Shield Captain and Alaris armor, and then also dunk down 3 Venatari on the same turn in your rapid ingress step, which I think is very, very good in teams for flipping a flank or trying to pressure somebody off their primary. Next up, we have a Warhorde of Orcs. So this is one of the places people are going with their Orcs with the changes. Beast Boss, 2 War Bosses, War Boss in Mega Armor, Zodrog, 2x10 Beast Snagger Boys, 3 Trucks, 6 Breaker Boys, 22, 11, and 11 Gretchen, 2 Kill Rigs, awesome, 5 Mega Knobs, 10 Knobs, and 2x5 Storm Boys. Just a very good, well-rounded bit of killy, bit of durability there. Blood Angels, Angelic Inheritors. I believe this is literally Jack Harpster's list from LVO. 2 Jump Pack Captains, Dante, Combi Weapon Lieutenant, and a Tech Marine. It's got the Sanguinaur, 5 Devastators Marines with las cannons, 5 Intercessors, 6 Inceptors, 3x3 Sanguinary Guard, 5 Scouts, a Storm Speeder Hammer Strike, and 2 Vindicators. Really well rounded.
Proven efficiency.
Exactly.
Why not take it?
It's a proven list. Don't mess with it too much. World is up next with Berserker Warband, Angron, Master of Executions, Lord Invocatus, 10 Jackals, 2x10 Zerkers, 2x3 8-bound, 6 Exalted 8-bound, 8 Goremongers, a Forge Fiend, and 2 Spawn. He's getting a bit ahead of the meta there with the Forge Fiend, which I think are going to be seen in a lot of World is lists moving forward with the Codex. And then lastly, we have Adeptus Sororitas Hallowed Martyrs, 2 Canonesses, a Jump Back Canoness, and Morven Vile, 2 Immolators, 3 Castigators, 2x10 Dominions, an Exorcist, 3 Paragons, and 2x5 Seraphim. So that is their pseudo guard list. Triple Castigator, double Immolator, and an Exorcist. So 6 premium tanks plus Morven and the Paragons being just an absolute house. So it actually, you can tell they've put quite a bit of thought into the structure of this. Quite infantry heavy with the World Eaters and the Orcs. Quite in the middle there with a lot of 3 damage bodies in the Blood Angels, but backed by, good long-range firepower in the Vindies and the Hammer Strike. And then the Hallowed Martyrs having just, hulls and hulls and hulls and hulls and hulls. So hitting a bit of a durability skew here, which I think is pretty cool.
I do like that Adeptus Sororitas list. It's almost like you're maybe reducing your dependency on miracles and just, getting to use those right when you need it's going to be most impactful, like with Morven Ball and the Paragons. And
well, exactly
the
right.
Tanks do tank stuff.
You hit the nail on the head. The only thing here that needs, needs more miracle dice to do the thing is Morven Vile. So when you bring her on or deploy her or send her in, she's just going to have a gas tank, up to the eyeballs of 6s and 5s and 4s to make sure she charges, gets the max number of wounds, max number of damage, all the things. And I played on a team event last weekend with a gentleman who was playing Morven Vile, and in one turn killed 5 Chaos Knights, 5 War Dogs in one battle round.
That's not normal.
No, it's not. It's not normal,
but possible apparently.
Apparently, yeah.
That's really cool to hear.
It's like half the opponent's army. Just see you later, alligator. One unit just accounted for half your army. Shot 2 dead, charged another 1 dead. Shot when shot, as in when you get shot, you get to shoot back. And then overwatched another one. And just
okay. Overwatching one. Oh my God. But the full rerolls can do that.
Everything in the kitchen sink. Now we got to pick a winner here. In the team events, we don't pick a team we think will win, although it will obviously be the Wooden Spoon Collectors that will win it. We pick a faction that we think is going to get the highest battle points, and sometimes that doesn't mean that their team is winning. They could be.
So,
go on.
I've got a little bit of connection issues right now, boys, but I have a suggestion for what to do here instead of our usual picks.
Okay,
hear it. Let's hear it.
If you're willing.
Don't disconnect while you're
completely.
saying
it. We each pick one of them. I'm already in.
Huh?
We each pick one of the Wooden Spoon Collectors to put our name to.
Sounds good to me.
Whichever one
scored. Blood Angels. Yeah.
Paul should just get the Blood Angels, I think. That's fair.
Paul just gets the Blood Angels. That's fair. That is fair. All right. What would you like, Dusty?
like all of these. I think I will do the World Eaters.
Not bad choice. I'm tossing up. So the World Is was one of the ones I was picking. I'm tossing up between the Sisters. I know their Orc player has had some struggles, but has been doing really well. I'm going to go the Custodies.
Nice. Well,
Yeah.
Arthur, Dom, Henrik, Mick, and Robbie, good luck this weekend. Take some heads, get some points,
and sass each other on our behalf because you are our champions.
Oh yes, you are our champions. So please sass each other.
Yeah,
we need to get some dice made. So
we do. We absolutely do.
These out some of these hot rollers.
We could do that for sure.
Next event we're going to talk about is the Canammer Team Tournament that is in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. Are those two separate places?
What?
Ottawa's the capital of Ontario.
What?
Ontario is the province. Am I?
Ottawa is the capital of Canada.
That one. Yeah. But it's the yeah.
Who?
192 players, 24 teams of 8 competing over 5 rounds. Let's see if that changes that faction pack for some of these teams. What are we going to see there?
So for the Imperial Super Faction, there are 1 Sisters of Battle, 12 Custodes, 2 Admech, 12 Astra Militarum, 4 Grey Knights, and 13 Imperial Knights. Space Marines, there's 8 Adepts Astartes, 1 Dark Angel, 2 Space Wolves, 5 Blood Angels, and 1 Black Templar. That's not a lot of Astartes.
It's not.
Chaos, there's 8 Chaos Space Marines, 2 T-Suns, 11 Death Guard, 12 World Eaters, 6 Emperor's Children, 11 Demons, and 8 Chaos Knights. Xenos, there's 11 Necrons, 10 Orcs, 7 Tau, 8 Votan. Hive Mind, there's 6 Tyranids, and 9 Genestealer cult.
Up there in GSC Nation.
You got dang right. There's Eldari, there's 4 Drukhari, and 11 Eldari, meaning the faction podium is still technically Astartes, topping it off with 17. But then Imperial Knights at 13. Custodes, Astra Militarum, World Eaters at 12 after that. Death Guard, Demons, Necrons, Eldari tied with 11. Orcs with 10. And then GSC with 9.
Wow.
Hell yeah.
What an interesting spread. Dustin, I'm going to lay down my first. Please explain. Imperial Knights, 13. What's going on?
We like Imperial Knights up here. We actually
this
have
is like
a
the
lot of Imperial
second time we've seen Imperial Knights be super high.
Mm-hmm.
They are starting to rise in popularity, and mostly because people are starting to delve really deep into the agents of the Imperium, and trying to get a lot of juice out of that book.
Yeah,
and, yeah.
Actually, we have an Imperial Knights player on our team too, and normally, like when Knights players send me a list, I'm like, yeah, whatever, man. Like it's Knights, I get it, but like, each one was like, okay, well, I could take these agents or these agents or these agents. Like, oh my god, there's actually choices. Like this is crazy.
Yeah. I had to dodge. Usually, so I played Grey Knights at a team event last weekend, and usually I'm quite okay or medium to confident into Imperial Knights. But I played against an Imperial Knight player who teched for Eldari, and he took anti-psyker. He took anti-psyker keyword stuff like a Calexis, Caria Drax.
So did ours.
Greyfax and stuff like that. And I was like, this actually completely changes the makeup of the match. And I no longer feel confident playing into this.
Yeah.
And that's just something they get to do. They get to tech for their predator. Like they get to tech for the things that they want to, go in and beat up. And that's not something you can
out
say
of the agents book you're talking about. Like,
yeah, correct. Yeah, you get to take your, your say 1,600 points of Imperial Knights, be that a bunch of armigers, be that a Canis Rex and a Mysterious Guard and Atropos or something like that, and then your armigers, and then you get to slap in a 400 point package of whatever you are either afraid of or you want to beat better.
Exactly.
And it's really, really powerful that they get to do that, and they're kind of the only one that does that as efficiently as like this 400 comes out, this 400 comes in, this 400 comes out, this 400 comes in. Other armies have to go a lot deeper, swapping out mainline characters, swapping out enhancements, swapping out changing detachments to do similar things.
It's true. Like I've been finding a lot of Imperial Knights lists, like when I'm looking at them, preparing, like, getting my matrix ready for them, like I'm actually I'm not gonna say not as confident, but I'm a little more weary of them now because of the different combos they can bring in there and the way that their armies can play. It's not as linear as it normally was without the agents.
Now, the other one is World Eaters. World Eaters being, very high on the podium is not unusual, but in teams events, it's not always very likely. Is there anything going on with the missions you guys have picked or that you're going to be playing that you think gives agency to World Eaters? Or what terrain are you playing on? Are you playing on WTC where they got a bit better at the staging opportunities?
We are playing on WTC for sure, yeah. And there's
so a little bit better familiar.
I will say that the missions for like this tournament definitely favors some World Eaters too.
Nice. All right, we have the Genesteel Cults Detachment Breakdown. Dustin, hand pass. All you.
So, for Biocycling Brood Surge, which appears to be just the most popular one, at least around here, because everybody loves the close combat. Like, I've always felt like GSC is the close combat faction, right? So
it's the same reason for the World Eaters being a little bit better, right? It's exactly the same. This is the merely pressure build rather than being the ranged pressure build, say, of the Host Ascension.
Well, this is the only problem with this one. It has a couple bad matchups, but it is a differential list. Like if you get the right matchup, it will run it over. So it's great for teams. Absolutely great for teams. 2 Hosts of Ascension, you can tell what those lists are. It's the Neophyte Hordes. Like that's the list for it. 1 Outlander Claw, 1 Xenocree Congregation, which you'd like to see, and 1 Final Day. Oh, what a genius brought that list. I don't know.
I don't know which guy that was.
Who did that? Who wants to have NIDS and GSC together? Who wants to do that?
So I had a coin flip when I was doing these, Dustin, because of course I was just opening lists. I wasn't looking at names, and then I did the stats, and I'm like, it's a coin flip whether you're the Outlander or Final Day. I was like, is he the Outlander? Is he the Final Day? Let's find out. And Final Day. Explain Xenocree to me. So they got a little bit more of the resurgent points, I believe.
2 more points, yeah. Well, as long as you take that enhancement, but if you don't, then why are you taking that detachment?
Why are you taking Xenocree? What else does that one do? What does it offer in teams?
That's the one that really enhances all the Acolytes, Metamorphs, and Neophytes, mostly the Acolytes. So they can get fairly easy access to reroll hits, but the main thing is they have advance and shoot, advance and charge, which is the only way in GSC to get that is that detachment.
Okay. Yeah.
Which is
aggressive acolytes rather than trading acolytes is what I usually see. Is
it's both
going out to
because you have more resurgent points, so they're aggressive and then you trade. They also have their really good close combat strat of just 1 CP and you get +1 attack, +1 weapon skill. So now you're hitting on 2s with an extra attack. You're hazardous now, but you're GSC, you don't care.
Yeah, when you got more, they'll come back.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly right. The Biosanctic, what are you seeing as the things it needs to avoid? You said it's got some big reds. Like, what does it want to dodge?
Anything that has a lot of fight first melee, like some of the Death Guard is very, very bad for them because the -1 damage is also something that they struggle into because a lot of their damage, a lot of their good damage, in fact, damn near all of it is 2 damage.
Yeah, all of it except even the what's the puppy with the character in the Aberrant character.
The Abominant.
The bomb. Is he damaged too? Or is he
damaged? No, he's damaged D6 +1. He's a monster.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Those guys are great. Those guys are great. Yeah, but no, it's because there's a lot of Aberrants with 2 damage. The Rock Grinders, which you'll sometimes see in there, are 2 damage.
Yeah.
So the -1 damage does hurt them quite a bit into the more elite armies, but it's the fight first because they are still paper. They will still die to any kind of decent combat. So if you have a lot of fight first, and they need to charge you to really do damage, or any list that has a lot of chaff that can get in the way and make sure because they're very vulnerable to move blocking as well.
Yep, totally fair. All right, time to pick some winners, my lads. Dustin, I'm going to price you in for yourself already, picking
that's fair.
GSC. Paul, what would you like, mate?
Yeah, I got to pick a faction here. This is tough because this is a big spread. And you gotta feel. Do you go with the numbers here with Imperial Knights being the champ here? Is like, but what really takes out Imperial Knights?
Don't take my pick.
I can tell you that there are some very good Imperial Knights players there.
There have to, but I'm going Astra Militarum.
There are also some very good Astra Militarum players there.
I was looking at what John Winter Russell's rocking up with his Astra Mil. He's going to be very strong, very hard to beat.
I'm going Nick Jag on our team too. Like, there's already 2 there, and there's a lot.
I'm maining Imperial Knights for the foreseeable future, so I'm changing my default, by the way, boys.
You're changing your default.
Okay, all right. Okay, we have an official. Okay. Wait, we need a policy. We do need
a policy. Yeah.
No. I don't know if we could just let this happen.
Well, okay, no. It is. It's the first of the month. Right. I think that's okay to do it the first of the month.
You know what? No.
But it's mid-quarter.
Is it?
I'm okay to earn this.
Okay.
If when any one of us has played 2 events back to back with a faction, you can change your default to that faction.
Oh,
That works. That works.
That's fair.
So,
Yeah, that's fair.
After I've played 2 events with knights, I can ditch. I
Okay.
can
I want to
ditch
get
on
some kind of blessing of the chat involved as
Yeah,
well.
we need that
Yeah,
too. Chat needs to bless this. That's true.
Yeah, that's right.
Anoint us.
But that says great criteria. A general thumbs up from the chat and a couple of back-to-back events
Exactly.
with another army.
Yeah.
That works. That works.
Next up, we have
the
Spanish
GT
event.
Merusa from
And I have
Merusa, Spain.
You just wait until you see one of these numbers. One of these numbers is going to blow your brains off.
Blow your brains off.
Well, let's jump into it. 324 players, 54 teams of 6 competing over 5 rounds.
So for the Imperial Super Faction, there are 2 Sisters of Battle, 40 Custodes.
There it is. Didn't have to wait long.
40 Custodes.
And 54 teams. This is probably the highest.
It's the highest non-Astartes, total that we have seen, percentile-wise in like
percentage-wise.
In like a freaking a stone cold year, like at least.
Oh my
yeah.
God.
14 teams out of 54 didn't take Custodes. Like ridiculous.
They're kicking themselves right now.
Okay. There's no more. That's it. That's all the Custodes. That's all of them.
That's
in Spain.
Yeah,
right there.
every
Bang.
single one of them. Yeah. Anyway, there's also 3 AdMech, 21 Astra Militarum, 6 Grey Knights, 22 Imperial Knights. That's still a massive number of Imperial Knights. Wow. Space Marines, 13 Adeptus Astartes, 8 Dark Angels, 2 Space Wolves, 17 Blood Angels, 1 Black Templar, and 2 Death Watch. Chaos, there's 11 Chaos Space Marines, 1 T-Sun, 17 Death Guard, 8 World Leaders, 13 Emperor's Children, 23 Demons. Man, Shadow Legion is just out in force. 14 Chaos Knights. Xenos, there's 19 Necrons, 15 Orcs, 9 Tau, and 11 Votan. Hive Mind, there's 14 Tyranids and 5 Genestealer Cult. Eldari, there's 2 Drukhari and 25 Eldari, meaning the faction podium is technically total of Astartes at 43, but obviously Custodes at 40 really gets the gold here. Then the massive Golden Cliff into Eldari of 25, then Demons 23, Imperial Knights 22, which is still respectable, and the Astra Militarum at 21. What is with the Custodes?
It's wild. It's absolutely crazy. Those numbers are mind-blowing. Like, you got to assume there's like 2 units of Wardens in at least every one of those lists.
Yeah.
So
they're hoping nobody gets through it. I mean,
hey, not necessarily, because if they're bringing the Solar Spearhead, then they're just going to have all the dreads, right? They might have 1 Warden squad, maybe, but probably not. It depends what the detachments are. Does that mean
if there is 2 units on average in every list, that's 400 Wardens?
That's a lot of Wardens.
400 Wardens.
That's actually these players make up most of the 10,000.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
There's more Wardens at the event than there are players at the event.
Oh yeah.
in like the second most elite army that you can play that isn't Knights, Chaos Knights. Yeah. Freaking nutters. The other numbers are pretty respectable. Everything beyond the Custodes is pretty much what I would have expected. 25 Eldari, so about half the teams. Demons being taken by about a third, as is Imperial Knights and Astra Militarum. That is about on par for where I think those factions are at. But we have a Chaos Demons detachment breakdown for your viewing pleasure. And yeah, Paul, nail on the head.
Yeah.
You want to read it out, brother?
Yeah, 19 Shadow Legion, 3 Demonic Incursion, 1 Plague Legion. Shadow Legion is just
it's so
incredibly
good.
powerful.
It's so good.
It's built for teams.
You don't you do not need the CSM portion. The strats alone are incredible.
You can just play. You can just play the
I mean, but you can.
I'm a bit weird on the Chaos Space Marine inclusions. So I've seen such mixed results out of the Havocs. Hanging out in Bellicor Zora. I've heard some people say they're the best. They're the bee's freaking knees. They can't leave home without them. And other people say they're not worth the paper they're printed on. Get them out of the list ASAP. Take Raptors and stuff like that instead. And I've seen, so I've seen both of those. And then I'm still seeing so many arguments of what to chuck in as your power unit. Of course, you're going to take your Bloodthirster with the Great Axe to go in, bonk something back to reserve.
Yeah, bouncing all around. A bouncing Bloodthirster is scary.
Savage, really, really terrifying. And but past that, people are really arguing about what is the best, power unit to take. Do you take the Crushers with the Herald? Do you take the Screamers with the Chariot character? and you do all the flybys and stuff like that. And do you take horrors? Do you take a bunch of bloodletters and fleshhounds? Of course, you are taking fleshhounds. Sorry, I shouldn't say that. That you are taking fleshhounds. And then flamers. If it's flamers, how many flamers? There is a lot to be discovered still in the Shadow Legion. It is not solved whatsoever, and I think that's very exciting for demon players.
And that detachment on its own is like its own multiple detachments because of all the different bonuses of the different units you can take. So there's so many builds within that build. It's just crazy.
That's the secret of demons, though. It's like you just if you have an idea about what you're going to face, the demons probably have an answer for you. And if
I think Adam has said it before that demons have probably the most robust codex or army that can build for anything.
Yeah, toolbox.
As long as you have perfect information.
As long as you have perfect information. Yes.
If you call your shot, I think only Adeptus Astartes can do something similar, and that's just because they have 100 detachments to choose from. So you could pretty much just pick your poison on what you think you're absolutely going to need to beat. Demons is like second fiddle to that. And maybe Eldari is the one below that if we had to pick a bronze medal here. But yeah, that you're absolutely right. Demons can kind of be fit for purpose. And if you call that purpose, if you know what that purpose is, they got you covered. They're going to do what you want them to do.
What? Okay, you need to roll a die for us to pick which faction we think is going to bring down the highest battle points.
There's like
I need it to be me. I need to come up here.
There's a 0% chance custodians don't make this podium. Right? One of the 40 of them is going to get just green lights,
0%
lights, all greens all the way through. So, all right, Paul, you called it, so call it, mate. You want the 1, 2, or 3?
I'll take 1, 2.
You got it. It's a 2.
Custodes.
Fine. Called his shot. He got it. Dustin, what would you like?
I'll take.
You need to pick something that'll be Custodes, baby. So.
Exactly. It's so hard to figure that out, but I'll go Imperial Knights.
Son of a.
Man, you see, he did that to you.
I'm back in the demons. Let's do it. He did do that.
Yeah.
He did that. I'll go the demons.
That's fair. That was the other one I was considering too. So.
That's good. Solid choices. This is going to be probably a great event. Going to be watching this one. Next event we're going to be talking about is the Battle for Salvation in West Nyack, New York, United States. 160 players and 20 teams of 8 competing over 5 rounds. What's on that roster?
For the Imperial Super Faction, there are 1 Imperial Agent, 2 Sisters of Battle, 6 Custodes, 1 Admech, 12 Astra Militarum, 6 Grey Knights, and 7 Imperial Knights. There's only 6 Custodes here, obviously, because they're all in Spain. Space Marines.
They got the memo.
They got the memo.
The Custode symbol went up in the sky, and they're like, we must go!
Space Marines was 8 Adeptus Astartes, 2 Dark Angels, 1 Space Wolf, 3 Blood Angels, 1 Black Templar, 1 Death Watch. Chaos, there's 4 Chaos Space Marines, 3 T-Suns, 8 Death Guard, 10 World Eaters, 9 Demons, and 11 Chaos Knights. Xenos, there's 12 Necrons, 8 Orcs, 6 Tau, 8 Votan, Highbind, 8 Tyranids, 6 Genius to the Cult. Eldari, there's 3 Drukhari, and 11 Eldari, meaning the faction podium is again, total Astartes technically at 16, but Necrons, Astra Militarum tied at 12, Chaos Knights and Eldari at 11, then World Eaters at 10, Demons at 9, and then a big old tie with Nids, Votan, Orcs, Death Guard, and Astartes at 8.
This is what you get when you get 8-player teams, pretty much.
Yeah.
You just get a much more even distribution of faction selection, because you must find your 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th list and what's worth taking. What's in your you
start to have conversations too about like, okay, we know this is hot out there right now. What beats that? And then like, what is our secret sauce we can take to help beat those lists? And so it kind of force distributes more diversity into those 8 packs, I think.
Yeah, absolutely right. Interesting distribution of Adeptus Astartes. So I wanted to highlight this now because I forgot to do it in the first one, where Blood Angels was just one list behind Vanilla Astartes. But in this one, the Adeptus Astartes are well and truly out in front. Almost like the Vanilla Codex Astartes is half the total Astartes, but still having 1 Death Watch, 1 Templar, 1 Space Wolf in the pack. So
are most of those? I mean, if you
Ultras,
remember, Ultramarines, basically
pretty much. There's a handful of Stormlancers in there, but the vast majority are Gladius Task Force Ultras. Good old boys, and Yeah, so a nice little step down here as well. Even only 16 for the total of start is stepping down to 12 to 11 to 10 to 9 to 8. That's a beautiful thing. We love to see that. We love to see those. We don't like seeing cliffs. They are fun and meme-tastic for us on the show. They give us content. But what we want to see in our meta is this beautiful step down. And I got to say, of the 4 events we've done, this has the best faction podium. This has the best, least stratified faction podium. But we have a Nekrons Detachment break it down for you because they did hit that first place on the podium, and we did the Astra Militarum one last week. So Nekrons Detachment Breakdown, and the title here is May the Casino Cannon be ever in your favor, because 6 of these 12 are Shatterstar Arsenal, which we know rely heavily on DDAs, that being Doomsday Arcs, to get their work done. So even split here, which is impressive. So 6 Awakened Dynasties and 6 of the Shatterstars, like I said. And that makes a lot of sense to me. You either build your Necrons to not die and sandbag your opponent, or you build your Necrons to do the killing and thereby get that differential. So that makes a lot of sense to me, boys. Anything about that?
So we've still seen like a couple of, I don't want to say random Necron detachments make their way in. It is interesting that it is just these 2, which are arguably the best or fan favorites right now.
Well, they're the 2 best at doing the 2 key roles of teams, either not giving up a win or getting a win. And that's kind of the 2 identities right there. You hit it on the head. This is the yin and yang of Necrons right now. I do think there's some interesting things to be played around with. I don't think Hypercrypt is dead in teams either, but I do think it takes a very different play style and a very, very different plan for how to wield them. And they do have much redder reds as well. So there is a bit more work to be done on that back end, rather than just like windmill slam my Necron warriors. Oh, look, I went first. Looks like you're getting 5s only for this game.
I think it's telling though that like everyone did go with one of these 2, the Necron players. So that's got their mind on the missions up there.
Oh, absolutely right. And there are some very strong players going here. There is if I was doing a team breakdown, Art of War is sending a full squad, a full 8-pack squad. So just breaking down what they've decided to take would have been very interesting. But we ain't got that kind of time.
This is our 4th event.
It's time to pick winners, baby. We have powered through this, but there were 4 150+ player events, team events.
In different podiums in every one of those events
podiums,
too.
Yep.
Different podiums. So the reason we did this is because there's 4 huge team events in 4 corners of the globe that have 4 very distinct flavored metas, and we wanted to catch it all. And how could we not? So Dustin, your turn to call it.
Me turn to call it? All right. I'll do 3 to 4.
Nah, 1 to 2. Paul,
your dice
off
sucks.
You go again, mate.
Your dice sucks.
Sorry, Paul, off you go.
Oh my goodness. I'm going to go with Eldari.
Dusty boy.
I don't like doing
This is a new month too, so points of reset.
Oh, this
That's
is
right.
important then. We got to really pay attention to this. Astartes.
Nice. I'm going Astra Mill.
Yep.
When I say the points of reset, we actually we predict these winners each and every week, and then on our Patreon only show for Tier 2 subscribers and above, we do a recap show where we see how well our predictions worked out, and also go over the winners of the events and call out some lists that we think did really well, so some surprising things, and give each other no end of grief when one of us is doing well or not well. It's hard to tell sometimes where the grief's gonna start and end, but we have a good time doing it over there. So consider checking that out if you are able to.
Is it Fuego time?
It is Fuego time.
Ooh,
oh my goodness! So last week, Adam, I don't know if you caught last week's show, but the chat did just a wonderful job representing you.
Because you guys did Fuego last week.
We did.
We did. Yeah.
We
Nice.
did sci-fi, which
Oh dang!
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Once you hear the winner, you'd be like, yeah, fine,
like,
yes.
It's one of those like we looked at. I was even looking at it. Just okay. I'm pretty sure I know which one of these is going to win, so I don't feel as bad about it. You probably be upset about some of the things that happen along the way, but I think the winner you're happy.
Did
about.
Empire win?
Yes.
Okay, cool, good.
Empire won.
I didn't watch
It was Empire and Aliens for the finals.
That is correct. Empire vs Aliens 2.
Yes.
The only one I thought from a modern era that could have gone deep is Dune. Dune 1 could have gone pretty deep.
Dune wasn't in it. we had to put Dune in another category because we didn't have that one. So we still
There
have
you go.
Dune. So that means Dune's going to have a really good shot of winning the category.
Actually, it's not Aliens 2. Aliens is the second installment.
Yes,
Correct.
Alien and Aliens.
So wait, was it the first Alien?
No, it was Aliens.
No,
Yeah, correct.
Aliens.
Because Alien is a horror or a thriller.
So how cool is that? It's 2 sequels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Second installment of both of those
In fact,
franchises.
I'm pretty sure every single one of if there was a franchise, it was always a sequel. We talked about that too.
Yeah. Like Terminator 2.
Terminator
the only
2
one
was
is
in there
not,
too. Yep.
Yeah, the only one is not better is Predator 2. Predator 1 slam dunks on Predator.
But
2.
Predator's
Good
in this one,
Yeah.
so we're on action.
So this is
genre.
a segment where, by the way, thanks for hanging out for that portion of the 40K talk. And here's a segment of the show that we get to where we talk very little about 40K sometimes. This is a segment we call the Flake Repeater. We put up a clock, we fire up a topic, and give our hottest takes on what that topic may be. We've been going through a series of things here where we are ranking the best films of all time in their respective genre to eventually narrow it down to a battle royal of the various genres and their top films. And how the things get seated in the brackets has been incredibly difficult and heart-wrenching.
Heart-wrenching. Sometimes there are some movies that don't make it past round one when they should.
Feelings get hurt.
Feelings get hurt.
Yeah.
But
And this series of things we've been doing has kind of been spawned by a patron giving us some suggestions on what they'd like to see in the Fuego, and it's kind of taken on a life of its own. And once we've done this topic, we will never return to this topic again unless demanded by the patrons. I know I'm mentioning the Patreon a lot, but that's just one way to support the show. It definitely takes a whole lot of work to put this together, and that is one way to say thanks, what's up, and let us know that you enjoy it. Some other ways, though, hit that like, share, and subscribe stuff. If you made it this far, leave a comment telling us what you think should have won last week and what you think might win this week. Now let's get to it.
Let's get to it. So last week we did the science fiction genre, which Empire Strikes Back won. And it was not close throughout their run, but it's not too surprising. This week I actually am not sure. So I'm really interested to see what happens this week because we're doing action. And I had to throw a couple extra, 2 extra ones in to make sure that they got their time of day because there was something we missed that were added on the end.
So we got a bonus round? We got a bonus bracket?
There's not even, 2 kind of getting out of the way first, and then we go to the real brackets. So
Okay. So there's the honorable mentions, essentially.
Kind of. And the first 2 are like, I had no other place to put them. So all right, they're going in action because it's closest, but they're not really action movies. But here they are. So,
Hey, Steve, welcome in. Better late than ever.
Of course.
What's up, Smurfette?
First up, we have, in the preliminaries, Rocky versus Men in Black.
Action movie?
That's what I mean. See, it's not.
Yeah.
It's got to be Men in Black.
Oh,
Wow.
I was going to say
I'm going to
Rocky.
say Rocky.
Yeah. I mean, one of them is kind of a tongue-in-cheek, pseudo sci-fi adventure. The other one is like a champion of the people being defined.
Like actually.
But
actually.
Is it an action movie, though?
No, but we have to go.
I mean,
with
there's kind of only one fight.
Man.
There's only one kind of action sequence in Rocky. That is true.
Yeah,
As
Men
like
in
purely
Black has
as-
action the whole way.
If it's just film versus film, Rocky wins hands down. But if it's action film versus action film, there's a lot more action in Men in Black.
But are we doing it based on the
Ooh.
genre? Because it's not going to show up again. Like Rocky is not going to be in another genre. This is it.
You mean Rocky 7 and Rocky 8, Adrian's Revenge aren't in this either?
No, they're not.
Men in Black all day long for action. I mean, come on.
Okay, I'm gonna get Men in Black. When he
Oh, is
shoots
he
the little
cricket?
girl when he shoots the little girl in the lineup instead of shooting all the monsters, that got me.
Yep. So you don't even know why you're here today. We're the best, sir.
All right, what's up next?
All right. I guess. Well, then so that's the preliminary of that one. So then it goes up to. Yeah.
So Dustin had a preference in that last one.
I did. But it's Predator versus the previous winner. Did it really matter?
I don't care
Yeah.
who's the previous
Did
winner
it
was.
really matter?
Doesn't matter to me. Like,
So it is Predator, hands
You're
down.
gonna have to pry Predator out of my cold dead hands.
Oh, yeah.
boys.
Ain't got
These
time to
guys are
bleed.
on the distance.
Yeah. So it's obviously Predator. 3-0. Like no contest.
Hands down.
Okay, and the next preliminary. Enter the Dragon versus Unforgiven.
Ooh, Enter the Dragon is fantastic. I'm actually gonna.
It is, but Unforgiven is. I mean, the Unforgiven was so unexpected how good it was.
Mm.
Like, any of y'all don't want to get shot, better run out the back.
It was like, was it the best Clint Eastwood film? It's up there. Fistful of Dollars is pretty damn good too. I don't know. I'm gonna go.
Gene Hackman's in it.
I'm going Bruce. I'm going Into the Dragon.
What'd you say, Paul?
As a Gene Hackman was in Unforgiven.
No, I mean for which one you're voting for?
Oh, Unforgiven, I think is the.
Yeah.
But it's hard to go up against Enter the Dragon that actually helped almost like launch.
I think
a genre.
I have to go with Enter the Dragon too.
Yeah, it really did launch a genre. Who was the basketball player that was in it? It was
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Yeah, dude, what a scene.
Yeah, when he kicks, Bruce in the chest, and it's like
size
from
of
his nose to his
torso.
navel.
Yeah, so good.
Chat saying Unforgiven.
Unforgiven, because that's the answer.
Nah.
I'm sticking with Dragon.
All right, look, okay.
It's 2-1 Dragon. It's 2-1 Dragon.
Democracy works, people.
Democracy works.
Yeah.
And the next one, because now it has to go into actual round one. Indiana Jones: Last Crusade versus Enter the Dragon.
Oh, damn.
Indiana Jones.
Yeah, it's Indiana Jones.
Last Crusade is a perfect film.
But I would. This is another one where I would have. The Unforgiven could have made it this far, and it would have fallen into the chasm.
Yeah,
would not have been
exactly.
Man.
Yeah. Yep. Indiana Jones: Last Crusade.
Okay. And continuing with the rest of
Dang.
round one.
Dang.
Mission Impossible versus James Bond. I think we agreed on Casino Royale was the one that.
But this is the Daniel Craig one, right?
I think that's what we decided on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is the first Mission Impossible, I'm assuming.
That's my favorite. I don't know what you guys feel about that.
Easily my favorite.
If we're talking about the one with Henry Cavill in it, where he does the fist cocks, whatever.
Oh yeah, the fist load.
Yeah. But it's. But we're not, unfortunately. So.
It's James Bond. Casino
Royale. Yeah. Daniel Craig brought a physicality to that role
he
that
did.
I think has been missing, and didn't sacrifice any of the suaveness.
I mean, straight up, like Pierce Brosnan in GoldenEye was fan-freaking-tastic. But Pierce Brosnan knocking anyone out is a stretch. Like,
The GoldenEye debut is one of the best video games of all time.
Yeah, absolutely. And in my opinion, still the best Bond film.
Well, we'll get to the video game category later. That's later. But right now, I have to even look at it as a series too. Like, I love Mission Impossible, but James Bond is just
another level, man.
It's another level.
That specifically, I think, really did. Like, it was surprising how.
Rebirth the genre, rebirth the series of Casino Royale. It was languishing pretty hard for a while there.
KR Top Gun isn't, because we put Mission Impossible for the Tom Cruise movie, basically.
Oh.
Yeah, fair.
Next up, Blade versus Bourne Identity.
I do enjoy the Bourne Identity. I do enjoy them.
Me too.
But
nightclub blood coming from the ceiling, not kicking it off. Blade is actually the start of the MCU.
I was about to say, Blade is actually it started the MCU.
Like, the reason comic book movies started to get good was Blade. Blade's got my vote.
Blade's got my vote too.
Yeah, me too.
The sheer 90s of it as well. The only thing more 90s or more like early 2000s than Blade is The Matrix. That's it.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that can get more like early 2000s.
I did think Bourne would at least get one vote, but
they're good movies.
They are good. They are good. But see, that's the thing, right? The Bourne movies are like good, happy to watch, not excited about. If that makes sense. Like,
I liked them more than I thought I was going to like it, because I think when they first came out, I don't know that I was like hip to Matt Damon.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair.
And I'm completely wrong about that, by the way. Amazing, actor, and in love a lot. But looking at with that, it took me a while to warm up, and now I love those movies.
All right, that's fair. All right, next up, RoboCop versus Die Hard.
Sorry, RoboCop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no.
You didn't deserve this.
You didn't deserve it, but you're done, RoboCop.
Yeah, Murphy, you're dead.
You're dead,
again.
Murphy. He ain't coming back.
Did not deserve it.
All right. Kill Bill versus Captain America Winter Soldier, which is what we agreed on was the Avengers film we were going to put into this.
Winter Soldier.
Yeah, because I think it's the most underrated. I'm going Kill Bill. I adore Kill Bill.
I love Kill Bill, but Winter Soldier has this drama of a spy movie and the hero moments of comic books.
Yeah.
And it's got great actors in it.
Captain America Winter Soldier is still my favorite Marvel movie. Like, it's fantastic.
It's my favorite Marvel movie as well. I'm still going Kill Bill. The score, the acting, the plot, it's fan-freaking-tastic. The action is superb. All the legs getting chopped off in the the dance floor.
The Crazy
scene.
88.
Crazy 88, baby.
Crazy 88, yeah.
The characters. It's a comic book.
It is.
Like
that is true.
It's more of a comic book than the freaking MCU movie it's up against.
So how they got all that ridiculousness through the censors essentially is they had to make it look like it could not possibly be real.
Be real. Yeah, had to make it go to 11 on the absurdity.
And so it was, that's why the blood fountains and everything else. I love the movie. I love the fact it plays well into the sequel as a sequel, but you need both movies to get the full story. And I think Winter Soldier is more contained right there.
Yeah. Okay. So 2-1 Winter Soldier.
You hurt me, boys. You hurt me.
Well, you can come back and kill us all with your sword revenge in true Kill Bill fashion.
My Hanzo Steel.
Yeah. Hanzo Steel.
Is Sam Jackson in both of those? Is Sam Jackson
in Kill Bill? What?
No, he's not. He's not in Kill Bill.
I don't think so.
He's in most of Tarantino's works, though, just not Kill Bill.
Yeah. You may be thinking about There's a.
Oh yeah, he is in most of them. That's true. I don't like this one. Lethal Weapon versus Mad Max.
Well, you know where my vote is.
Well, he's in both, right?
I know. It doesn't matter. Mad Max.
Yeah, it is Mad. Definitely got to be Mad Max.
Dude, Mad Max was filmed like within rock throwing distance of my house. I'm lying. It's like within 10 kilometers of my house.
Yeah, but that's still like close. You could walk there if you needed to, I guess.
Absolutely awesome. Mad freaking Max.
I never
loved the Lethal Weapon films.
Really?
They were good.
I loved them.
Yeah, I never loved them. Yeah,
they're very 80s. I think
they are very 80s,
right? Or like early 90s. And I hate to say this, but I'm pretty sure that we're probably older than Murtaugh was in the films right now.
No, because he retires when he's like 50. 50? Wait,
maybe some of us are older than
Murtaugh.
50, Paul? But it's just so weird that it's like anyway.
Oh wow.
Mad Max.
I definitely have to say Lethal Weapon, but it doesn't matter. Mad Max 2-1. All right, and then last of round 1, Batman Dark Knight versus John Wick.
John Wick, baby.
Dark Knight.
Yeah, it's Dark Knight.
I stand here on a hill that I will die on when I say that Dark Knight is the best superhero film ever made.
Dark Knight's awesome, but it's like two movies stuck together.
Kind of.
Yeah. I mean, to me though, John Wick has like run its course. It's a lot of fun, but it's essentially you know how they made like 4 Takens with Sam with
how you gonna keep taking stuff from Liam Neeson?
Just
stop doing it. Stop.
It's the same. It's the same movie.
It's not.
Yeah. Dark Knight.
There's so much nuance in John Wick. The lore is expanding in every film.
What lore? The assassins are more assassins than you thought they were.
All right, we're gonna have a watch party coming up soon.
No, it's kind of dumb how more expanded it gets. It's actually I actually find it absurdist and silly how deep this little
I haven't watched past the first.
Yeah, and look, Batman is a superhero movie. John Wick is just pure action. I do think The Dark Knight is kind of like too. By the way, I love The Dark Knight.
I'm so surprised. I'm so surprised in you, Paul.
Yeah,
I thought you'd be.
Actually.
I thought you'd be on this hill with me.
You didn't even think.
This is the definitive.
It was just John Wick for you immediately.
This is the definitive Joker. This is the best portrayal of Joker we've ever had.
I don't disagree with that.
Oh yeah.
Do not disagree with that.
Okay. Well, 2-1.
2-1.
Yeah. Also, look, The votes are votes.
Yep.
John Wick didn't deserve that either, but that's...
No, he did not deserve that. Over there with
Okay.
Robocop in the We Wish It Was Different.
Yes. All right. Now we go into...
This is what makes the bracket so difficult, is
Yes.
because
Yeah.
like a different seating, and where these are different conversations.
Yeah. Okay. Next up, we have Predator versus James Bond.
Predator.
See you, James.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
This is just Predator.
Got a license to get eaten
get
by a
gold.
space monster.
License to get gold, James Bond. And that was Casino Royale specifically.
yes.
Right? Yeah. No chance.
There's no chance.
chance.
Predator.
I mean, you could put any of the James Bond films up
Tell me
against
a
Predator.
Bond that would beat Predator, Adam.
I would stand here and tell you about the good things and how awesome GoldenEye is, and I would still pick Predator.
There you go.
Like, but I would at least say something about GoldenEye before I pick Predator.
Okay, you have said something about GoldenEye and then pick Predator. Good job. We did it.
Done.
We got it.
Tick,
We did
tick
it.
box.
Checked. All right. Blade versus Die Hard.
Sorry, Blade.
There's no way you're thinking about this, Paul. Really? Oh, I guess you're a Marvel.
Blade versus Die. So yeah, it's got to be Die Hard. Die Hard, unfortunately, is the better movie. Yeah.
So much easier in round 2, boys. It's wild.
Yeah, it's
because we've chosen our hills. We've all just chosen
have.
our hills already.
I think we have chosen the hills, which might get harder.
Oh, it does. Round 3 gets hard. Is harder than
Yes.
round 1.
All right,
But
next
round
up,
2 is easier than round 1.
Indiana Jones: Last Crusade versus Captain America: Winter Soldier.
Indy for me.
Is Indiana Jones.
Freaking love.
Last Crusade is just a perfect film.
The rat scene in the catacombs under Venice. Vienna. Everything about that film is a masterpiece.
Yeah. It's 3. Wow.
3-0. Yeah.
Avengers got wrecked. Indiana Jones coming out. It's gonna get harder in the next round, guys. It's gonna get a lot harder.
I already see.
It's getting a lot harder.
It's gonna get rough.
All right. Last of the quarterfinals: Mad Max versus Dark Knight.
Yeah. How good is the movie now? For action movies, I gotta say Dark Knight's probably.
It's. I'm gonna let Adam. I know my answer, Adam, so I'm gonna wait for you.
Do I vote with my heart and my people, or which is just the better film? Because Dark Knight is the better film. But Mad Max, the original, was made with $50,000. So
Wow, really? Okay.
It's like apples and oranges.
Really?
So yeah, it's Dark Knight.
You went Dark Knight. Wow.
I did.
I cannot believe it. Mad Max getting 3-0'd.
Yep.
That's crazy. Oh man. Okay.
My heart is entwined.
I thought at least Adam would vote for Mad Max, but
no, I'd lose my integrity.
wow.
I don't know where we go.
So yeah, I guess we would talk about the original Mad Maxes, but would the newer Mad Maxes be in contention if they were in the bracket?
Oh, sorry, I lied. It was $350,000.
That's like 7
I mean, that's
times.
still not a lot of money, like for comparatively,
right,
especially not for the impact it has had, on everyone.
Dark Knight was 185 million. Just to put that in context,
but
and that's US dollars.
But would any of the newer Mad Maxes, like the Fury Road and
Fury Road.
Was it Feroz, which the Hemsworth one?
Furiosa.
Yeah, Furiosa.
What?
Look, like Fury Road would have gone deep in this, I believe. Fury Road is excellent.
Well, I mean, you could consider the Mad Max whichever one you want.
No,
would it have beaten Dark Knight? No. I don't even know. So I'm not going to waste my time.
It's awesome. Yeah, but that's the question. Would either one of those in this particular situation would they have stacked up against the Dark Knight? I don't think.
Yeah,
so.
I don't think so. Like you put the best Mad Max against it, I still don't think it. But this is where it gets hard, boys. This is where it gets really hard. First up, Predator versus Die Hard in the semifinals.
I wanted this to be the final. I wanted this to be last.
It's Die Hard.
It's Predator.
No!
Can't be lost, Dustin. Can't be lost.
Why would you do that to me? Oh.
All right, we're both going to sell out. Let's sell our cases.
All right. Sell your cases, chat. Sell your cases too. I want to see what chat thinks too. We're getting a lot of Predator so far. Oh, no, Die Hard too.
Predator is the best creature feature of all time.
Whoa.
You do not even see the monster until the last 10 minutes.
The best creature feature?
You don't know what's going on. You don't know head from tails, but the ride is so good. You just see all these horrible things happen. Dudes, strung up and skinned, and all these incredible bits and pieces while these dudes are getting chased through the jungle. These absolute peak humanity dudes, like these absolute machismo.
Big at the time too, Jesse the Body Ventura or Schwarzenegger.
Yeah. Carl Weathers.
Yep.
Absolute juggernauts. And they made one film, and it has been a phenomenon ever since. Even though no film has come close to how good the
everybody quotes Die Hard.
What are you saying? You ain't got time to bleed? You're not going to quote
you and I know that we are. Sorry, all us here, the chat, and everyone here, we know that. But you can just say that out there on the street, and it's not. They'll recognize Nakatomi Plaza before they recognize that. I'm not saying that's criteria for a better movie, but I'm saying
stuck in there like an Alabama tick. I could go on. All right, Dustin.
I love both of these movies to death, and if they were both on, I would just turn on. I would buy a second TV so I could watch them both at the same time. So this could not be harder, but it's Predator.
Oh,
I'm not mad. I'm not mad at the choice.
I totally thought you were going to go Die Hard. Wow. Okay.
It's Predator. I
know exactly right. If you had picked Die Hard, I couldn't be mad either. I could not honestly be mad.
I'm mad that I had to make the decision, but I'm not.
Yeah. You keep putting yourself in that position, buddy.
I started picking right away.
You should. Okay, for this next one, Dustin, you say the thing and tell us immediately your pick.
Okay. Okay, well, it is Indiana Jones Last Crusade versus Dark Knight. Dark Knight. I'm not happy about it. I am not happy about it.
It's got to be Indiana Jones, though. I mean, because of just the sheer thrill ride of that movie. You actually do feel the tension. You feel the moment in every step of the way.
That chat's divided, too. The fact that I had to do that quickly, I will probably regret it. But
I know my pick. I'm not happy.
You do?
With it.
Okay.
I'm not happy. I'm not happy either way. But it's Indy. It's.
I'm not
Indiana
upset.
Jones.
I am not upset.
Even the opening scene where you see where he got the scar and the whip, and you belong in a museum. So
I am not upset at all.
It is the. Probably, I mean, I'm making a lot of hot takes here, but on my soapbox. But as an action adventure film, I think it's unrivaled.
Well, we're gonna see if it is in a second.
Yeah.
Well, no. If you add the adventure element into the action,
the adventure element,
I think it's unrivaled. As for the journey you go on with Indy through the whole shebang, the betrayals, the finding his father, the blimp,
everything about that movie is
ticket.
It's just perfect. It is so good. I'm not mad. I'm mad that I had to choose between those two, and I'm not mad about who won at all. But that brings us to the finals: Predator versus Indiana Jones: Last Crusade. What do you think,
Indiana
Chad?
Jones.
Wow, Paul didn't even think about it.
Indiana Jones.
Say, Paul?
Indiana Jones.
I'm going Predator,
and I hate voting against Predator.
I'm sticking to my guns. I called it Predator all the way, baby. I'm not going against Predator. And Dustin in the middle once again.
I hate both of you.
Me and Paul have when me and Paul agree, it's usually clean sweep. And
yeah, it's true.
This is perfect though. This is for the content, right?
Oh,
and we are not doing this to be contraire. But this is who we are.
Oh my god! How am I supposed to decide between these two?
Just know there will be a future round where
where what, Paul?
You could take out one of these later. It's
the chat is firmly on Predator.
Wow.
We have 1 for Indy, and we have 4 for Predator.
That's crazy.
Just for action, and they do get kicked off to the races pretty quick in Predator.
They do.
But I just think that scene for scene, Indiana Jones is all action.
My only difference is that there's not enough corniness in Indy, which is an interesting thing to say. Like, there's no stick around, the with the knife. There's no ain't got time to bleed. There's none of my delicious corniness of what I want from an action film. I want one-liners. I want but I also want the grandeur and the suspense and the action sequences. And so that's for me why Predator's like the perfect action film. But Indy is so spectacular.
Punch.
It's got Sean freaking Connery. It's got such a perfect
punch
cast.
A lot. You got the Holy Grail. You got the spiritual aspect. You got the guy. He chose poorly.
Yes. Yeah. Right at the end there.
Oh my God! This is
got
the
backdrop
hardest
of World War
one.
II.
This is the hardest one I've ever had to do in this series. It's okay. Indiana Jones. I have to. I have to.
It's done.
I respect
committed
your
to record.
I respect your decision.
I have to.
I mean, not that much.
No, I know you don't respect it that much.
It's gonna sting. He has to go his whole day. You started his weekend off.
Burn. Yeah. It's midday for me. I got to live the rest of my day out.
Now you got to think about that. That Predator didn't make it. Predator didn't win. Oh, man.
Oh, well, there it is. Another brutal bracket in the books. That is it for this week. If you made it this far, please help us out by hitting those subscribe and like buttons and the bells and the comments and that kind of stuff. It means so much to us. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for being a part of this Fuego and helping us, crown winners for the best movies of all time. We'll see you all next week, everybody.
Take care.
See you next time.